So, yeah. I'm not even going to intro the show because it was that bad of a Monday Night Raw.
No, it was great, man. Come on.
0 out of 10 for this Monday Night Raw. 100%. But yeah, we are live right now. What is going on? What is going on, guys? You're listening to the Realest Podcast. I'm Blake Carter, joined by Kyle Lepore and once again Andrew Bast. Am I saying it correctly?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. I didn't want to be like, it's pronounced Bast.
It's pronounced Based.
Right? And you're listening to the Monday Night Review from May 30th, 2016, Memorial Day. And first off, let me say thank you to anyone listening and everyone that has served our country now and in the past. And to the ones that have fallen, thank you for, sacrificing yourself for our freedom. So, look, let's just jump right into it. We're not going to talk any small talk. By the way, Lana totally botched. Anyone hear it?
Yeah, I heard it.
She's like, I can't even do a Russian accent, and then it totally went American. I was like, wait, what? She botched! She botched!
Rusev did the same thing either, I think it was last week or SmackDown. He, really did not sound Russian at all.
He's Bulgarian.
Okay, well, whatever. Bulgarian, Russian, whatever the hell he tried to do.
He has an accent.
He did not sound...
He has an accent.
It was one time he didn't sound at all. He just sounded straight up American.
Yeah, Bo. Could you imagine? He breaks
oh my
they break it.
God.
Yeah, Bo. It was a good match last night, and it was a good match last night.
Yes, comrade, it was very good.
So let's hop right into this. Obviously, the big story, or there really wasn't even a story. There isn't anything big, but a lot of people are buzzing. Is the fact that we got to see AJ Styles and John Cena in the same ring tonight, and obviously, I'm not super hyped up like I usually am because this Raw sucked. Really did. 0 out of 10. -5 out of 10. But, Kyle, I know you have a lot to say, and I'm going to let Andrew also say what he has to say after you. But, Kyle, go ahead and try to defend your case.
Well, the whole thing is that basically Cena is such a star in WWE. He's been the face of the company for a long time, and you see a guy like AJ Styles. That's been a confrontation people have wanted to see for a long time because it's like AJ. I won't say he's the top star around the world, but he's definitely up there as one of the best around the world, pretty much. And then you have a guy like Cena, like I said, who's the face of the company. So them coming in the ring at the same time, and the crowd loved it. They were loving it. It was like, let's go Cena, AJ Styles for a good 1 or 2 minutes. And what developed really did suck, but I just seeing them in the ring together was great for me. That's what my big thing about it.
All right, Andrew.
Look, there's a few things about it. When it first came out, and you see the two together, and then you see the club come out and start making that promo like they were going to attack Cena and AJ Styles, and I thought to myself at first, this is going to be terrible. Because I said last week that he's going to have to find a partner, and if it was Cena, it was going to be AJ Styles. But I disagree now. I think that what they did there was the best move for AJ Styles, and I know you disagree with me, but this opens up so many possibilities for the club and for AJ Styles to really tear down the house. And what I see on the horizon is the showcase of old school versus new school. And of course, you can't really say that AJ Styles is new school, but he is new to the company, and so is the club. And John Cena has been carrying the WWE for years. Now, you can see two different possibilities in this. You can see Cena carrying the company again, making another team of veterans to take out this new threat. They're trying to take over the company, as it seems. Or you can see Cena taking on AJ Styles in singles competition for a little bit, and then having him bring on the newer competition to kind of back him up against the club, which it seems inevitable at this point. Now, I know you guys probably both disagree with this, but I see a lot of potential in this. You can have AJ Styles look very strong, come out, take on Cena at the next pay-per-view with the club involved, have AJ Styles go over on John Cena. Have him go over on John Cena and open up possibilities for a feud that leads up to SummerSlam. That's what I see.
I know Kyle has a grin from ear to ear right now.
No, I don't.
Yes,
No,
you
man,
do.
no.
So,
No,
Kyle,
I don't. I'm saying I do
what's
agree
your
with Andrew.
no? But what's your response to that? I want to hear the response.
I do. I mean, Andrew's saying he does have a lot of great points, and that is 100% true. That's definitely would be great for that to happen. But the bad thing, the bad possibility, which is a very popular opinion, which I already saw on Twitter, is that this feud going down, it's going to be Cena beating Styles and Styles being buried down to like the Earth's core. And that's a large that if that ends up happening, if Cena ends up beating him, which we could which I think will most likely happen because like Blake, you were even telling me what he said was that the new people the new era has to go through me. And Cena's returning, and it's hard to believe that he's gonna return and then like have a feud right now and then already lose it like straight up. That would be extremely hard to see. As much as I would want to see Styles win, it's a large possibility we're going to see Cena win and Styles get buried into oblivion, and that really cannot happen because I hate. We even said since day one of Styles being here, he can be easily face of the company if they book him right. And I even told you, Blake, is that this feud would be great on paper without AJ losing, like him losing the past like what 2 or 3 pay-per-views, whatever it's been, him
Three
being on this
pay-per-views.
losing streak, 3 pay-per-views. There you go. If he was not on this losing streak, if he was consistently winning, and Cena didn't just return, this is a great feud on paper. 100%. It's a great match in the ring, outside of the ring. It's amazing to see. But with the current circumstances, it sucks to see this because, like I said, we're most likely going to see. We're going to see Cena beat Styles because, like I said, the whole thing where New Era has to go through me, all that bullshit, and Styles will be buried into oblivion. The club, I don't know what they're going to do, but Styles will be absolutely dead, like rip in peace.
Okay, Andrew,
You-
what's your response? Yeah, I was gonna say, go ahead.
You want my opinion on this? If the WWE is smart when it comes to booking, which so far they haven't, but if they are smart, they're going to turn this feud into a gold mine. And the reason what I think is going to happen is it's going to be John Cena versus Styles at the next pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to put on an excellent match. But I see AJ Styles winning over John Cena. And the reason why I think that's going to be the case is because it won't be clean. Of course, his buddies will get involved and distract the referee, allowing AJ Styles to get the unfair advantage over Cena, and therefore propelling another contest. Now, if Cena beats Styles cleanly, like you're saying, Kyle, yes, that would be the ultimate burial for AJ Styles. If John Cena goes in and faces AJ Styles and beats him cleanly, you might as well have him retire right now because he will never recover from it. But if he finds a way to beat Cena, and he doesn't have to beat him cleanly, if he has somebody get involved on his behalf, it will help his career. And that's my opinion on that.
Kyle, any response? I feel like I'm like the moderator of the debate right now. Hey, just go
I
back
really
and
want-
forth. Just go back and forth.
I really want to hear what you got to say, honestly, because I know you have a very strong opinion about this. Also, you were not happy with this at all. I want to hear what you have to say, honestly.
Okay, so where do you want me to start?
I want you to start with just the entire thing in general. First, like AJ and Cena, I want to hear you say about AJ and Cena in general, and then bring up the current circumstances.
Okay, so Cena coming out first off, I thought that his Memorial Day speech, it was good. I liked it. People could say it was a cheap pop. It was some cheap pop. No, that was a good one. That's Cena. That's his character. He's always done that. For a second there, I honestly thought a retirement speech was coming, but by the way he kept talking and the way he so now I have to say, and I was like, oh God, what in the world? I'm going to be out for 6 more months. I was waiting for that. And then Styles' music hit, and I read recently in an article, because there was an article saying that AJ Styles plans on retiring soon. Not like soon like as in 6 months, I'm talking like a couple years, if not a little bit longer than that. And basically him saying that he wants to stay in the WWE after he retires. And it was asked, who would you want to work with? And literally the first person he said was John Cena. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, wow, he's getting what he wants. Someone must have said this is going to happen. And my first initial thought was, okay, this could actually work. You could see Cena versus AJ Styles play, face versus face. People will boo Cena, but this is something a lot of people would want to see on paper, especially at a pay-per-view, because you see a lot more hardcore fans at pay-per-views than you do at Monday Night Raw. We've seen that, I think, for the past 2 weeks. I think we saw that tonight. I mean, that for a good 5 minutes we saw nothing but "Let's go Cena, AJ Styles" chants, and which was awesome. I loved it. I loved every single minute of it. I thought that the 15-year-old, 14-year-old, younger than that kid came out of me that watched TNA, watched AJ Styles basically develop into the phenomenal AJ Styles and to the face of TNA. Facing in the same ring now as John Cena, which is something I honestly thought would never happen. So, seeing that, I got excited and I was very proud of it. But as soon as Anderson and Gallows' music hit, I knew what was going to happen. It's a classic Cena moment. What is Cena known for doing? Getting his ass beat. Unless it's a pay-per-view. Then he'll win most of the time. As soon as their music hit, I knew that we were going to see AJ turn heel. It was a given. First off, I don't get what's going on with the club. Last week, we're done. Don't want to be a part of this anymore. And this week, it's like, well, we're here to kick your ass, AJ. Oh, yeah? Yeah, let's go. And then, at first I'm thinking, all right, here we go. Cena, part of me saying Cena and Styles versus the club. This is going to be really good. And then, obviously, AJ turned heel, and we got what we saw. My initial thought, this is how the club should have been debuted versus Roman Reigns. This is what should have happened. But instead, creative's like, no, we got to have Roman look super strong. And instead, we get the club struggling to beat the Usos and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns always having the last say in something, or the last punch, or as some people would like to say, in that feud. The club look extremely weak. They still look extremely weak. AJ Styles got buried for 3 pay-per-views in a row. Not to mention he got his ass kicked a lot of the time on Monday Night Raw with his feud with Roman Reigns. So now here's my thing. We have the club, Anderson and Gallows, who's more than likely going to go for the tag team title belts. That's probably a given. And now you have AJ Styles versus John Cena. Cena's not, in my opinion, and I could be totally wrong, the whole promo, like you said, Kyle, and the whole, you new era, you have to get through me, blah blah blah. And I like that. I think that was really good. I think that really made Cena look good, because there's a lot of people saying, oh, Cena's nothing now. I like that he's saying, if you're wanting to be something, you have to go through me. And when I heard AJ's music hit, I thought, here we go. That's exactly what's gonna happen. But when AJ turned heel, I initially got really upset because I already know what the outcome will be at Money in the Bank. It's going to be Cena versus Styles, and there's no way Cena will lose against Styles. And that's if that goes to the pay-per-view. That's if. Mm-hmm. We could still see Cena go for the title at the pay-per-view. Or the U.S. title, not the title.
No, we can't.
You don't think so? You think Titus O'Neil?
Oh, for sure. Are you kidding me? Look at how they left it off last night. Titus punching Rusev in the face and then basically like, okay, well, what's going to happen there?
Last night? You mean tonight?
Okay, tonight. My bad. Tonight, whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't foresee them just doing this. It's like, well, I mean, we're going to get back on top of it. I'm just saying, like, with the U.S. title, that I could definitely see that going to pay-per-view and then Cena and Styles going to pay-per-view easily, because that's a pay-per-view match right there.
It's a pay-per-view match, easily. But awesome. We get to see Titus O'Neil and Rusev in a pre-show match. Awesome. So I immediately thought Styles is even more buried. On paper, yes. This is good. If Styles is winning and he's not on a 3 pay-per-view losing streak and he's not looking weak just about every week, this is good. But the club should have debuted like this. The club should have debuted like this, and they're immediately strong, and they're not looked up as a joke. If you go on Twitter and look up the club, people are saying, oh, look, it's the Breakfast Club. Oh, look, a Breakfast Club. Or a Sandwich Club. Come on. Now, and then we have AJ Styles walk out. Come back in the ring, beat him up a little bit. Walk out. Come back in the ring, beat him up a little bit. Like, just put the Styles Clash on him. Cena will do it. Cena will let you do the Styles Clash. Do it to him. End it. We don't need to see you, run a 40-yard dash to the ring and back. When we already saw that with Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that. Oh man, we're gonna get into that. That was also rough.
So, look, I'm open to anything you guys want to say to me about that. I'm obviously not yelling or anything because it's not worth it. I've yelled for weeks and weeks and weeks about how they need to, well, not how they need to, of how unhappy I am with the way they're booking Styles and how unhappy I am with the way Styles is being booked. I'm at the point now where I don't care. Like Styles I'm at that point with AJ Styles, who's one of my favorite wrestlers. I just don't care. The guy, in my opinion, is buried. Yeah, he could come back from it, but he's not doing anything to really come back from it. Could he come back from it if he beats Cena? He has to beat him clean. If he has help, I still think he's weak. So if you guys have anything to say on it, let me know now, or we can move on.
I mean,
that's
yeah,
the thing, though. It must be a win. It has to be a win.
Has
no
to
matter
be a
if
clean
it's clean
win.
or if it's dirty. It has to be a win. AJ Styles cannot lose to Cena at the pay-per-view. If he does, he's done.
If it's not a clean win, the next pay-per-view, which is Battleground or SummerSlam, I'm pretty sure it's Battleground, we will see it, because John Cena has been known to have a feud that goes on for 3 or 4 pay-per-views. Look what happened with Rusev. How long did that go on for? That went on for 3 or 4 pay-per-views, right? Because what was it? I know like that he was challenging Rusev again for the U.S. title, and like Rusev was like, "No, I've beaten you like 3 times already." And then they even wrestled each other at Payback, so they went on 3 or 4 pay-per-views. So Cena is known for that. So it's very possible we could see this feud go until SummerSlam, but I'm sorry if AJ Styles loses. He's out. He's done. But if AJ Styles wins, but it's not clean and he has help, I think he's still in the same area or level that he's at with being buried. I don't think he gains any ground. I don't think he loses ground. I think he's at the same level. He has to win one of these matches clean because I really do see this feud going on for a couple pay-per-views already. Because it's a moneymaker. People will literally buy the WWE Network and tune in to see that match.
Exactly, and that's the complete reason why they're doing this. Like, we kept going back to it, but listen, as soon as AJ gets in the ring, the crowd, like you said, went for a good, 4 or 5 minutes just chanting their names, and Styles and Cena just let it go, because that's how much the WWE knows how badly they want to see this. This has been a dream match for years, not just since Styles got in the WWE. People have wanted to see this for a long time, and that's why they're doing it now, pretty much. That's why. I mean, the way they're doing it is bad, because, like I said, without these current circumstances, this is easily 5-star main event for the WWE title feud. Easily, this could go for years. Not years, months. This can go for months easy, and it still can.
It can go for 3 years straight. Every main event,
dude. Every time. No, but yeah, I'm really hoping they book this right, and yeah, I'm hoping, like you said, Blake, AJ really does need to win clean to really help him. I don't know if that'll happen, though, because with how it currently is with the club, easily what'll happen if this match does happen is have Money in the Bank, which it most likely will. We'll see Gallows and Anderson get involved somehow, some way, whether they distract the referee, distract Cena, interfere some way, shape, or form. But I'm really hoping Styles can win clean and just come back from this. He really needs to.
and that's if our former Superman doesn't pull a Roman Reigns and just totally destroy all of the club like Roman Reigns did both pay-per-views.
Dude, Cena was Superman before Reigns was even here.
Well,
Cena's always.
In my opinion, the Cena being Superman's kind of went down. I think I look at Cena kind of as Batman now, or not Batman. I look at him as like Captain America.
Yeah, actually, it's perfect. Yeah, he came out in red, white, and blue tonight too. So yeah, he's Captain America.
So yeah. Again, you said it. I said it. He has to win clean for him to gain ground. But the problem is that throughout this feud, he's going to lose to Cena. One of these matches, he's going to lose. So even if he wins clean, he's going to go straight back down to where he was.
We'll just have to see.
Here's my thing. For this feud to work, and I've said it for months, and you can back me up on it, Kyle. I've said it for months. For this feud to be dominant and for it to work, first off, you needed a debut that was strong. You could say Anderson and Gallows' debut was strong, but the club itself wasn't strong. This is where the club needed a debut, like tonight, beating down Cena. Okay, so then you needed the club to have gold. Well, Styles isn't going for gold. He went for gold last time, but he didn't succeed, so now we're going to have Anderson and Gallows go for gold. Okay, but if Anderson and Gallows gets gold, which, if you want my opinion, I don't see it very likely.
Really?
I
Are you really?
Yeah, I honestly and truthfully do not think, and this is where Andrews was, you win SummerSlam. I don't think they're going to lose the titles till SummerSlam.
I don't know. I can definitely easily see because I mean the team beating the New Day. It's basically like a thing where New Day has had such a great run with the titles that they're on like they're very high in the totem pole, right? So any team that beats them, it's going to be, in my opinion, a new blood kind of team that needs that push to be on that next level kind of thing. And Anderson and Gallows are in that perfect position right now where they could walk in, if they do have the match with them at Money in the Bank, they could walk into Money in the Bank and dethrone New Day easily. Because that will, like I said, that will push them to the next level, and they'd have a great run with the titles, especially with like a club situation. Like if you look at it when Rollins and Reigns had the tag team titles in the Shield, that was a great run with it because like you had Ambrose interfere and they held the titles for a good amount of time, that kind of thing. And they'd love like faction tag teams, basically like having the titles is a huge push for the faction itself. So that can really help the club itself be better if they do keep running with this, whether it's AJ leading it, Balor leading it, whoever the hell does. They keep running with the club, a big push of them will be giving them some kind of goal. And I could see, like I said, if they have the match in Money in the Bank, they could definitely walk out with those titles.
Here's a random thought, and I totally just, it just totally, like, popped up. Since WrestleMania, what title has been changed? There's only been one title change since WrestleMania, and we've had 2 pay-per-views.
Yeah,
There's been one title. There's
Just
been
the United
one,
States title.
just the U.S. title.
No, the IC. Did Miz have it?
He had
Miz had
it.
Well, technically the IC title.
You could say the
IC.
IC title, but that was
Yeah.
lost on Raw. Since then, there has not been a title switch, which is kind of crazy to think about.
It really is. I hate that so much. And I even told you before this, like looking after tonight, I don't know if there's even a single title that actually means anything.
Yeah,
It really is
you
depressing.
asked me before the show which title means something, and I told you none of the titles, in my opinion, mean anything. I think once you get that belt off Roman Reigns, it'll become something once again. But as of right now, that belt means nothing, and it's very hard to watch the quote-unquote face of the company, Roman Reigns, who has the title, really bury it.
Yeah, and it's not even just that title. Like the U.S. title, for example, it didn't mean shit with Kalisto. With Rusev now, him going against Titus, it means almost as. I mean, Rusev is better than Kalisto. Okay.
I'm just saying this now. I wouldn't go off saying it means a lot. I think it's moved up a little bit. It still doesn't mean anything. I still think that's a pre-show match.
Yeah, and that's the problem with it. It's especially because I mean, if Cena was going to go after it, then it would mean a lot more. Obviously, now that it's Titus, it means like.
See, here's the problem. Here's the problem.
What?
For the last few pay-per-view kickoff shows, the U.S. title has been defended as a kickoff show.
Yeah.
Like, you need to take the championships off the kickoff show. You shouldn't have a championship.
They don't
on a
mean
kickoff
enough.
show.
There should never be a title on the pre-show. I've said that for weeks. There should never be a title on the pre-show. Ryback even said that on WrestleMania, a title was on the pre-show, the U.S. title. Mm-hmm. If you want my opinion, or not an opinion, but if you were saying if Cena was going after it, it'd be on the show. If Cena was going after it, it'd be the co-main event.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's hop back into this. Andrew, what are your thoughts on the whole AJ Styles Cena thing? That since we've said a good bit about it.
I've said it before. I said it again. It can be a very good thing if the WWE does this correctly. AJ Styles needs to win, whether it is clean, especially if it's clean, or if it's dirty. If it's dirty, you're opening it up to possible feud in the future that could lead up to SummerSlam, which can also be a good thing, depending on how it's booked and who it is booked with.
Okay. Well, then let's move on. We've said a lot, and let's move on to the opening of the show. We have Shane McMahon and Stephanie McMahon basically announce the brand split to anyone that doesn't have the internet, or if you live under a rock. That the brand split is happening and that rosters are going to be split. Now, they did not announce the draft. They have not announced that. But we saw New Day come out and ask a lot of questions, and a lot of questions were dodged. So, by the way, if you have not listened, be sure to tune in to Keeping It Real with Blake and Kyle. We actually really went into detail about the brand split. It's up right now. Be sure to subscribe. Never miss Keeping It Real with Blake and Kyle. Actually, this Saturday, we are going to have a mock draft. And to anyone that says, oh, you guys are copying the big YouTubers like Joe Cronin and JD from New York. No, we posted that video like Wednesday or Thursday, and they came out the next day and said something. So, screw you for even wanting to say that we were copying them. We're going to be having a mock draft, and this is how I'm going to basically give up 3 spots for the mock draft. The mock draft will basically pick one, be the face of the company, your top face, number 2 being top heel, number 3 being basically your top mid-carder who will, eventually be the face. Again, tune in for Saturday. We're going to have Andrew on for that also. But what did you guys think about the opening segment? We got to see Stephanie dance. We got to see Shane dance.
It was awful besides New Day coming out. It was the only good thing about it. I just love seeing a New Day on television. It was absolutely stupid. I wanted to see, especially because, like, I understand there's obviously a lot of questions about this because it's a big thing to do. It's a huge thing to bring back the brand split, brand extension, whatever you want to call it. And I get that not everything is set in stone. But, I mean, if you're going to have New Day come out and ask you guys questions, couldn't you at least answer some of them, say something to give us some kind of answer instead of saying, oh, it's nothing determined, nothing determined, nothing determined. It's like, you got to give us something, man. Give us something to work with. If you're going to do that, if you're going to acknowledge it at the opening of Raw, you have to give us something. That's just my opinion, though. I could be wrong, but I just want, something if they're going to talk about it.
Andrew?
See, of course they're going to keep it airtight. Because they want it to be a surprise when it happens. They don't want you to know that John Cena is going to go to SmackDown. They don't want you to know that John Cena is going to go to Raw. They want you to be surprised just like you were with the first draft, where you had Devon Dudley and Bubba Ray Dudley getting separated by the draft. They don't want you to think that the New Day is safe. And odds are, if you want my honest opinion, what's going to happen is at SummerSlam, they are going to lose the titles. They might not, but I have a feeling that they will, and what's going to happen is the New Day is going to get separated. Because Kofi Kingston and Big E have both had somewhat successful mid-card careers. And I see a few teams getting split up in order to, even out the playing field and open up the possibility for new rivals, which would be lifted by big players like Big E Langston, who has proven that he can run a good feud if he's given the length to do so. Same thing with Kofi Kingston. What we're going to see here is tag teams getting separated. There's a lot of questions going to be raised by this, like what is going to happen to the Money in the Bank? If there's going to be 2 titles, where is the Money in the Bank going to go? Yeah. Is there going to be 2 titles? Will they split the titles up again? These are all questions that are being dodged and not being answered, and I think that's for the idea that they want to leave it up to the surprise, really shock you, try to get that shock factor.
Yeah, if you want my opinion, I think the only 2 people out of the New Day that could have a successful singles run would be Xavier Woods, because that guy is amazing on the microphone. I honestly think he could be big just by the way he talks on the mic. He's also good in the ring, but we don't get to see him a lot in the ring because obviously he's the he's the young gun out of the group basically. I also think Big E is the second guy that can be, we've seen him in the past do big things, but I think this has really developed his character, and I think this is another opportunity, and I think he could also be big in a singles career. I think Kofi kind of has already, I wouldn't say had his chance, but he's been there for almost 8 years, he said. So
his gimmick was also awful.
Yeah, so I think that he could be the odd man out of the 3, because there's always the odd man out in a tag team. Edge and Christian was the odd man out. The Hardy Boys, Matt was the odd man out. DX, I don't know. DX is kind of hard. They were a big group. Who else? And Nexus, the entire Nexus group except for Wade Barrett were the odd man out.
Yeah, it's always happened.
Evolution, Triple H and Randy Orton. Well, they actually, you know what? I'll give it
But
to
see,
Evolution.
I disagree with Evolution.
Evolution, they all
everybody
were big. Yeah,
broke off and became
did.
big. Batista, Randy Orton. I mean, Randy Orton is one of the biggest names in the company, next to Cena. Whenever you think of big feuds or you think of big wrestlers, everybody knows about John Cena. Everybody knows about Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe Batista, you could say, was the odd man out of the group. I mean, he was the one who was less known. I mean, obviously Ric Flair. No one's going to be more popular than Ric Flair out of the four there.
Yeah, the two Guerreros. Eddie was the one. Chavo was the guy with the short end of the stick.
Dudley Boys.
Dudley Boys. I don't know. You could
But
say
no, Bubba Ray's always been better.
But
especially like the singles competition, he's always been better.
You could also put Team Angle in there. Shelton Benjamin was the one that shined. After, even though he didn't do anything big, he was still the one that shined. I think what screwed him was the whole mama gimmick. But look, we're not going to stay on long. Seth Rollins basically ran a 100-yard dash back and forth to the ring, and once again, Roman Reigns was looking strong, better than ever. It made Seth Rollins look scared and weak, even though he was playing we're doing this on my time. I don't have a lot to say about this. The only thing I can say about this is what I say every week. Roman Reigns is Superman, and you know what? Screw anyone that thinks that anyone's going to be stronger than him. You guys can take it away. You guys can go back and forth. Go, just go. Go for it.
Well, here's the deal. Rollins is a good performer. He always has been. He has a promising future ahead. But right now, and before his injury, his character is exactly what it is right now. He was that guy with a lot of talent who basically needs help to back him up. He's the guy who, for months as WWE champion, pretty much got the authorities' aid in order to win every single match that he had. He's always been that guy who's run the 40-yard dash ever since he made that split from the Shield. And he's picking right back up as that same character. So it does not surprise me that tonight on Monday Night Raw, he's running away from Superman. He's picking right up where he left off when he betrayed the Shield.
Mm-hmm. I hate that, though. I want him to be like, because before, like you said, he was like the weak heel. He always had the authority helping him, that kind of thing. I want to see him this time be the strong heel. That's what
Absolutely.
I really want to see. That's what he should be, really. He would do amazing at that easily. He's great on the mic. He could be a complete asshole on the mic. He can toy with the crowd easily. He could easily be like a complete, just powerful heel. I don't know why he's going to go back to being the little, like, wussy heel that doesn't fight his battles much, that just, like, does whatever, runs away, that kind of thing. I don't want to see that at all. That's why I don't think the people want to see that either. People love seeing him in general, but they wouldn't want to see him be like the weak heel he was before.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have a lot to say about it.
It was just stupid. I don't know why they did that.
It was very dumb. And the thing is we're going to see, I guarantee you the next week or two, my guess is going to be next week, we're going to see Rollins basically attack Reigns from the back. And then we can see that once or twice, and the go-home show will be Reigns kicking Rollins' ass. That's just about how every go-home show goes with Roman Reigns. So last topic I'm going to bring up, the whole 6-man tag team match between, the 6 contestants and the Money in the Bank. Once again, not a lot to say. One of the very big disappointments with tonight's Raw was, last week we were like, we can't wait for next week. Next week could be really good. Cena return. We could see a lot of stories develop. Stories developed, but very poorly.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, there's not a lot for me to say other than this was your main event. If you want my opinion, what should, if you're going to ask me what do I think should close the show off, 100% Cena and getting beat down by the club. That should have closed the show off. But, of course, whoever's booking it said, no, let's put this 6-man tag team on, try to make this look important. And, well, to be honest with you, I stopped watching Raw. So, you guys have the floor.
Yeah, the thing that was just really weird to me is that they've been saying how, okay, it's going to be a 7-man ladder match in Money in the Bank, like the Money in the Bank match. But we've seen, like, on Raw, okay, we saw the matches there. But SmackDown, we only saw one match of who else was going to be Money in the Bank. That was Alberto Del Rio. And then this Raw, there was literally, they didn't say anything about, like, the seventh man, who's it going to be when we're having the match to decide it. Now, they didn't even, like, go to SmackDown and say, okay, well, here's for the last spot in the Money in the Bank match. Like, what happened to that? Like, where's the seventh guy? There's nothing talking about it. Unless, like, we're going to see it surprisingly on SmackDown, maybe. But that's just really weird to me. I don't understand that at all. But, okay. It's very strange.
Andrew?
It could very well be that they're trying to make a surprise entrant into the Money in the Bank ladder match.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe like
Another
somebody
shock
returning or
factor.
debuting.
Maybe that's why they're trying to keep it hush-hush and not calling attention to it. Do I think that's a smart idea? Maybe. Depends on who they put in that match.
Yeah.
Finn Balor. Could you imagine?
It would be good to have Finn Balor call up, but would it be for the Money in the Bank ladder match? Because I don't see... all right, let me put it this way. How many times do you see a surprise factor come in and win a match like the Money in the Bank?
I don't know if that's ever even happened.
That's the thing,
Like,
though. Like, why would you bring back, or why would you call up Finn Balor or somebody of that caliber just to have them lose at Money in the Bank?
Well, I mean, to be fair, NXT TakeOver is in a couple of weeks. And not this week, but next week. I'm pretty sure NXT TakeOver is happening. So, if you want my opinion, the not TakeOver Dallas, goddammit. Kyle's theory could very well be true, and this is the only thing I'll say about it is if Finn Balor loses in that cage match.
Which I think that'll definitely happen because I think they want to run with Joe for a while. But I mean, it doesn't even have to be Balor. It could be somebody else. So they can have somebody return, somebody debut. What do we see? We could see Bobby Roode for all I know. It could be anything at this point. They could do anything. If they choose to go this route, it could literally be anybody being put in that match. It could be, like I said, somebody from NXT or somebody returning.
I'll tell you this though. Whoever the surprise, if they do the surprise entrant, whoever that is will win the match.
Oh,
and
for
if
sure.
they
There's
don't,
no way they won't.
if they don't, I also think if we see Finn Balor get called up, he needs to join the club.
Oh, that's what I want to see so bad. I would love to see like Styles and Gallows and Anderson and then Finn Balor all make it and then be like an Evolution situation where they get all the gold and they have just run a tear through the company. That would be amazing to see. That'd be great. Evolution was amazing before. They could easily do that again. Easily. They could do that. I want to see that happen. I don't know if it will, especially if Finn Balor wins Money in the Bank. I don't know. I mean, it'd be weird to see Finn Balor be like the top guy and then AJ being like the mid-carder. That'd be very strange to say. I don't know if we'd see that. But yeah, I do think, though, like back to Money in the Bank, that I think they could go with a surprise person. And I think they could do that. I mean, if they're not bringing it up now, if we don't see a match of SmackDown, I think it'll be a surprise. It's definitely got to be a surprise entry.
Right. Andrew, any other thought on this?
It's like I said, if it's a surprise entrant, somebody like Finn Balor, they have to win.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have somebody as popular as Finn Balor come in and put on the show and lose. It just would not be a good start to his career. It would be another AJ Styles situation. So if they're going to do the surprise entrant, sure, bring on a guy like Bobby Roode. He could come in and lose, and it'd be okay. But somebody like Finn Balor, somebody who is an established guy at NXT, if he comes in and puts on a show at the Money in the Bank and loses, he could end up a lot like Adrian Neville was, poorly booked. One of the big guys in NXT coming in, big bad Adrian Neville, and you see where he is now. He's on injury. He wasn't really given the storylines that people wanted him to have. That could end up being Finn Balor, and I feel like that's why they're not calling up Finn Balor and why Triple H has been so protective of him in NXT.
Speaking of calling up, one thing that Triple H has been doing since Neville and Tyler Breeze were called up is he's making creative have 6 months of plans and story for the wrestlers that they call up, because it's obvious that they didn't have a long-term plan with Tyler Breeze or Adrian Neville. So let's rate
Apollo
Raw.
Crews, though? Wait, what about Apollo Crews? They didn't do Crews at all.
They have something planned with him.
Really?
I think if you want my opinion, we could honestly see Sheamus versus Apollo Crews as a pre-show match.
Oh my god! And one more thing I want to say that before we go to our ratings though, it's another going back to the titles that literally mean nothing right now. We saw, I want to call it a promo basically from Miz where he's shooting a movie and he's our IC champion, which basically what it looks like. And he even said, "I'm gonna be giving you my updates week to week, on Raw kind of thing." So basically, we're not going to see the title being defended. We're going to see nothing on that. There's another title. It's not going to be defended. Not going to be anything. It's just going to be sitting on a fucking mantle where the Miz is shooting a movie.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Why are we doing that? What? I'm telling you, if you look at, there's 5 titles right now, right? There's 5 titles. Almost none of them mean anything, and that's really sad to see because it should be a championship belt, not just a belt. It's literally just a belt you wear around your waist. It's not a championship title.
Look at everyone that has the belt. Could you honestly sit down and say, I really like them with the belt right now?
Charlotte, yeah. I liked Charlotte before. Not as much now. But New Day, yes, before. Now they're getting kind of old and stale kind of thing.
I wouldn't even say New Day because I don't think they make the belts look strong. I've said this for the past couple weeks.
I think they did before. I think earlier they did. I think they did it well before. But now it's just been a running thing where they just kind of do promos or whatever. That's why a new team has to win that. They need to change up the champions. Every single champion needs to lose their titles, honestly. If you want my opinion, every single champion we have now needs to lose the belts. We need new champions all around.
Well, all right, let's go to the ratings. On a scale of 1 to 10, obviously, and if you're in the chat, be sure to also give us your ratings on Monday Night Raw. So, Andrew, we'll start with you. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give Monday Night Raw and why?
3 out of 10. And I would give them a 3 out of 10 because they just did not give us the show that we were looking for. They started off strong last week. They did not start off strong this week. The matches weren't as good as last week. Even the Kevin Owens 6-man tag team match. That match, they tried to put on a really good show. Sami Zayn looked impressive. But it just left us kind of really?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. I was not impressed.
All right, Kyle. Scale of 1 to 10 and why?
I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10 because just the night from top to bottom was really not good at all. From the promos to the matches, they weren't good at all. We're just seeing bad. Like I said, from the start of it was awful. The middle was awful. The main event was awful. The way they went about everything was bad. The storylines barely developed. It's not okay. We have Money in the Bank right around the corner, and they're not really they're not making it feel like we have a great pay-per-view coming up, and we're not. It's we're not feeling it at all, and it sucks. I hate rating these Raws back because they should be better, but it's really I'm so disappointed at how they're being. It's all been awful. It sucks, man.
Yeah, I'll give it also a 2 out of 10. Easily a 2 out of 10. The only thing that, in my opinion, really stuck out was the fact that Cena and AJ Styles were in the same ring tonight. That's probably the only highlight of the night. I think the show started bad and it went downhill from the start.
I think we had another good highlight.
What?
Ziggler beating up Baron Corbin.
Not even beating up, just a straight kick to the balls.
Just straight kicking him and leaving. He left it with style too. He kicked him, and he was like, you know what? That's it.
We're gonna have another feud the next pay-per-view.
10 out of 10. Good job, Ziggler.
Dude. But man, what about Breezango and Golden Truth? Dude, there's a storyline that developed.
Dude, I honestly think that both Goldust and R-Truth are on meth. They'd get asked a question, and they're talking about elephants, and Goldust is going,
That's their characters, dude. I told you, you were even laughing at me, though. We said about last week, I was telling you, they're called Breezango, and you see last night, that's their fucking tag team name, Breezango.
At this point, we already have 5 pre-show matches that's possibly going to be on the main card. So just think about that. 5 matches that should be on main event, the TV show, the show that goes on Hulu, main event, that nobody watches, is more than likely going to be on a pay-per-view.
Oh, and I completely forgot too. That Warcraft commercial was stupid as shit.
I said that.
I completely forgot about that.
I said, did Kane really just promote World of Warcraft?
We haven't even seen Kane. He comes out of nowhere, just promoted the Warcraft movie. What the hell was that? What? We don't see. Even when we saw him, he did have his mask. I thought he did have his mask. We haven't seen him in forever. Since his feud with it was him, Ryback, and somebody in that against the Y family, right? That was their last thing, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't the last time we saw Kane? That's what we told him, and he just randomly in this Warcraft commercial talking about shit. What the hell is that?
As if he's giving like a speech to his teammates.
Like, dude, he's returning. Here comes Kane.
He's going after the title.
Maybe he's in the movie. I don't know, dude. Maybe he's in the Warcraft.
he's one of the species. Who are you? I'm Kane, and I've come from the depths of hell.
What the hell?
I'm still reeling for the fact there's going to be another Marine and Miz is going to star in it.
This is like his third Marine.
We're gonna have 12 rounds 4 coming out. Oh my god! They just
Like,
do the same
it's
shit.
funny. Both the movies that are like big sequels, Cena starred in. He was in the Marine. Awful
He
movie.
was in 12 rounds.
I honestly thought 12 Rounds was good. It was a good.
I did too.
It was a good guy movie. Like explosions.
The Marine
action.
was too. I like the Marine a lot too. I actually have to see. I want to see the sequels and see if they're actually good.
The Marine was retarded. It was like Terminator because he never talked.
No, it was pretty good.
And he's a soldier, didn't use weapons. All right, makes sense. So let's sign off here because we're talking about the Marine. If you're enjoying what you're listening to, hit that like button, and if you hit the dislike button, don't. You know what? It's a dislike on Raw. So be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe. That way you never miss a show. Monday nights are the Monday Night Reviews, obviously. Thursdays will be next big thing. And announcing now, Wednesdays. And starting this Wednesday, we are going to go with Endgame. Endgame will be coming back. We'll have 2 new voices for you guys in Endgame. We're going to be talking about Battlefield 1, the update with the Division, and Overwatch. So, be sure to tune in for that. And then Saturday, keeping it real, Blake and Kyle will be doing a mock draft of the brand split for Raw and SmackDown. And obviously, whenever there is a WWE live event, we'll be going live at a prediction show and a results show. So, for Andrew Bass, Kyle Lepore, I'm Blake Carter, and until next time, peace out.